Hello there, I'd love to welcome you to this awesome stream. My name's Lobosi Charts, and I'm representing Booster Charts YouTube channel, broadcasting to you live from the southern beautiful place of Africa. Listen, I'd love to thank my mentors before I go on. I'd love to thank Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Tim Sykes, who wrote the book the forward to the book of the penny stock course, written by Jamil, and finally Matthew Creator, who wrote the book Rocket Stocks, and you can find all their books on Amazon Kindle. Today we're going to talk about how to trade candlestick patterns, and as you can see, there's a sketch right here on the screen. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to trade this chart pattern on Finviz. So we're going to do it live together. Alright, so we're going to go through the presentation, then I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to do it right here on Finviz. So let's dive right into it. So the name of the presentation is how to trade candlestick patterns. So the first thing that you will notice is on top here you see the candlestick pattern. You will see candlestick pattern right here, the bullish counter attack, and the bullish counter attack basically has a red bar here and a white bar. So this bar could also be a green, and this bar is usually represents a down market, and this represents an up market or up price action. So it has a red bar and then a green bar or a white bar below the red bar. So it's called the bullish counter attack candlestick chart pattern. Now then there is what you call the rocket. That's what I call the rocket booster strategy. So this is represented by this 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. So when the 50-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average, we call that the golden cross. Now the price has to be above both moving averages to represent an uptrend. Now you're not supposed to trade this pattern, okay? Again, we'll be using Finviz. So if you want to get an account with Finviz, better you just sign up in the description below for the account in Finviz for a 7-day free trial. So I'm going to show you how to use this strategy. If you stick up to the end of this presentation, I'll show you how to use this strategy on Finviz. So remember, again, you are not supposed to trade this pattern, okay? You're not supposed to trade this pattern, okay? So don't trade this pattern. Very important to remember that. It's called a random pattern. So what you want to do actually is you want to trade this one where the bullish counter attack or the candlestick chart pattern touches the 50-day moving average. So here I said the body of the week has to touch the EMA, and then this is the golden cross. Again, price has to be above the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, and then this candlestick pattern should touch the 50-day moving average. So this is the one you should trade. Surprisingly, my stream today is very much active. I guess this is one of the days when the stream is very active, so which is awesome. So this is what you want to trade. All right, you want to trade this one when the candle. So this bullish counter attack is just an example of a candlestick pattern. I'm using this bullish counter attack because you can only access it through a paid membership of Finviz. Now there are other candlestick patterns out there, and hopefully in the future I'll make a video on how to detect the other candlestick chart patterns, but the one I'm using is bullish counter attack, which you can only access by subscribing to Finviz. All right, elite membership monthly. I think it's about $40 or $30, something like that. Okay, so this is the one that you trade, and then you make sure it touches this 50-day moving average. while it's above the 200-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average has to be above the 200-day moving average. So this is my trading rule. I say the bullish counterattack pattern must either sit on the 50 EMA with its body, or its shadow must at least touch the EMA. Otherwise, I ignore the signal. So it's very important that this touch happens, because that's the mistake I used to make. The mistake I used to make is here. I would trade these random patterns, because this is called a random pattern. So that's the mistake that I used to make. Okay, the mistake I used to make was I would focus on trading this random setup here, and that's not cool, right? This is called a random pattern, and this is what you do not want. All right, you do not want this. This is the situation you want. Okay, you want a situation where the candlestick pattern touches the EMA. Now there are other things that you can do to boost up the strategy. So you have to make sure the RSI is between 40 and 60, because you do not want to buy in an oversold market. You need to make sure the volume increases. So the volume has to increase on this candlestick pattern, right? So it has to be between the 40 and 60 range of the RSI. And finally, the golden cross, which is here, you have to make sure that is true. Now, only take a bullish counterattack if the body or wick touches or sits on the 50 EMA while the price is above the golden cross. Now, that's very, very important for you to remember. Okay, it's very, very important for you to remember this. Okay, so now we're going to look at the next stage of my presentation. So this is how to trade it on Finviz. Okay, this is how you're going to trade the pattern on Finviz. So this is the criteria. All right, so remember I showed you the strategy. Now I'm going to show you how to trade it on Finviz. So first, you have to say the price has to cross in the technical section. You have to say price crossed above the 50 moving average, 50-day moving average. Second thing, you say 200-day should be below the 50-day moving average. Third thing is you choose a candlestick pattern. In this example, we're using the hammer, but you can replace this hammer with a bullish counter attack. Second thing is you choose an index, ideally S&P 500 or Russell 2000. So when you do this, make sure the RSI is between 40 and 60. Then finally, make sure the price is below the 20 EMA. Now, when you do that, okay, when you make sure the price is below the 20 EMA, what that's doing is it's keeping it within the RSI range. And then finally, watch for a green volume bar below the candlestick, and I'll show you a trick that I use to on Finviz to catch a green volume bar. So for the free version, you have the marbles white, the hammer, the long lower shadow, and the inverted hammer. Then for the paid version, you get the counter bullish attack, bearish, count bullish attack bullish, the harami bullish harami, you get the harami bearish, you get the engulfing bullish, you get the engulfing bearish, you get the 3 rising soldiers, which is the bullish, and the 3 falling soldiers, which is the bearish. So get Finviz today. So basically what is happening here is you are just basically going to replace each candlestick pattern here, right? You're going to replace this, you see this, it will be replaced by these candlesticks patterns here. All right, so it will be replaced by those candlestick patterns. Okay, so those that it will be replaced by these candlestick patterns here, right? So you get the bullish counter attack, you get the counter attack bearish, then you get the harami bullish, then you get the harami bearish. You also get the engulfing bullish, you also get the engulfing bearish. You get the three rising soldiers, which is bullish, and the falling three soldiers for the paid version. But for the free version, you get the Marabuzu white, you get the inverted hammer, you get the hammer, and you get the long lower shadow. That's for the free version. Also, I've written it down because and I know this is gonna be hard for you to believe, but I suck at typing. I'm actually not good at typing, so that's why I just wrote it down and made a picture. All right, so I'm not good at typing stuff. So yeah, that's it. So now we're just going to get into the demonstration. I've shown you the strategy, so again I'm going to repeat it. Just replace these candlestick patterns with what you are seeing here. All right, so there where you see in the bullish where you see in the bullish counter attack, replace it with any one of these candlestick patterns and you will find something to trade. So now we're going to dive into a demonstration of these. Now we're going to dive into a demonstration of FinViz. My streaming is very healthy today. And you know the funny thing, I don't want to say the funny thing, but the thing about FinViz is that, you know, the thing about streaming is some days are good, some days are bad. No day is the same in streaming land. No day is the same in streaming land. Okay, let's try here. Right, just give it a second. My page is loading. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, 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 can you hear me? All right. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Sorry about that, guys. My streaming is quality is not doing too well. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. All right. I think we have. I think we're good. I think we're good for now. Hello. Okay. Let's just do that. I'm just deleting unnecessary audio to hopefully improve the streaming quality. Now my streaming health has dropped. Again, just rewind the video 1 minute behind. All right, so let's dive into FinViz. I'm going to show you the strategy. Okay, so we're going to go through the strategy together, right? So you click on screener, then the first thing you do is you come here on technical. Now the truth is I've already saved it. All right, I've already saved it, but this video is a demonstration of me actually doing it. So I've already saved it here in the screener box. I don't know if you can see the drop down menu. It's not showing the drop down menu, but yeah, I'm just going to show you how it's done. But meanwhile, let me just go check. I've left something on the stove. Okay, let me just go check on the stove and then just check this pattern out, because this is what you will get. All right. So let me just check on something on the stove. Coming. Yeah. So I'm back. Sorry about that. Just need to get some tea and bread. I'm so hungry, guys. So remember, this is the strategy, right? So the strategy is very easy. This is the strategy that you're trying to implement. Okay, that's the strategy you're trying to implement. So you can use any one of these candlestick patterns here to do this. Make sure the body wick touches. So now let's dive into the demonstration. So this is the demonstration. So let's go into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here. Then here we're going to say price crossed 50 SMA above, right? That's the first thing we're going to do. Let's get into it. So it has changed there. It's saying price crossed 50 SMA above. Second thing we're going to do now is we're going to say 200 SMA below 50 SMA. All right, I'm just going to do it like live for you. You know what I'm saying? Live wire. Live wire, my brother. Live wire, big man. That's how I'm going to do it, big man. So we've changed that to say SMA below 50. Price below 20 SMA. So I'm just going to do it live wire right here. Live wire right in front of you. You know, that's how it's supposed to be done. Live wire. Okay, live wire, big man, live wire. Right, there we go. What's next? Right, so you move, let's move this here. Say change from open. Say up. By the way, make sure you click the link in the description on the chat. Get yourself a Finviz account, support the channel. You know, I'm going to tell you something about my goals, right? So this is what you want. You wanted to say change from open up. Now I'm going to tell you something about my goals. You know, first I'm going to declare my goals to you. Okay, I am going to become a powerful public streamer because this will enable me to render useful service that is needed, and because it will yield me a financial return that will provide me with the necessary material things in life. I will concentrate my mind upon this desire for 10 minutes daily just before retiring at night and just after rising in the morning, for the purpose of determining just how I shall proceed to transform it into reality. I know that I can become a powerful and magnetic streamer, therefore I will permit nothing to interfere with my doing so. Signed, Lugosi Charts. I will do this before 2026 June. Okay, so that's my goal right there. Signed. All right, now let's dive into the descriptive. Before we use the candlestick pattern, I want us to dive into the index. So we'll say S&P 500. So now I'm going to show you the technical side of things. Okay, we click this technical bar here. Remember, you want to make sure it's between the 40 and the 60 RSI, and you can see so far the list that we have here. We have 9 potential stocks here. We have Warner Brothers. I think I had one podcast about someone talking about movie acquisitions, and I thought, oh, it's not Warner Brothers, sorry. I heard someone talking about movie acquisitions, and in my head I was like, man, this is crazy. Movie acquisitions, man, this is crazy. So as you can see, look at all these candlestick chart patterns. Are you seeing this? So this is what you want to see. Then, in order to pick the best of the best, you choose a candlestick pattern. Now the good news about these is you can actually use this strategy for trading futures. So these here are super random, but in order to get a perfect entry, you choose something called the long lower shadow. Let's see what pops up. So you really want to be specific, because remember, what you want is something similar to this here. Right? That's what you want. You want to use a candlestick chart pattern as you are trading. All right, this is what you want. Remember, that's what you want. So you come here now, you see you find something called NOC. Now this is the long lower shadow. So we only have one out of all those 8. We only have one for the North Rope Grand NOC. I think I need to write this down. I actually forget about these patterns. All right, let's check it out. Mm-hmm. I just realized this tea is high in nicotine. Oh no, this is the tea I don't like. I love green tea. I hate black tea, guys. I don't like black tea. I love green tea. Mm, black tea kind of messes up, kind of fucks with my heart. Mm. Mm-hmm. All right, so as you can see here, this is called the long lower shadow. Now the long lower shadow has crossed above 50-day moving average, but it's also below the 20-day moving average with a green bar. So you can see this one, Team Sex would call it an earnings winner. All right, so this one was influenced by an earnings report. These are very, very good chart patterns to trade. Okay, so Team Sex would call this an earnings winner. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Believe it or not, I'm actually cooking beans as well on the stove, so I had to go check on the beans. Sorry about that, guys. So As you can see, this is a perfect example. So this is called an earnings winner according to Team Sykes. And what I love about S&P, this stock here, is that it also has a dividend. All right, so um, if you buy this according to market value, you will get the dividends plus the upside. But you can try it as an option trade as well. You will do pretty well. So it's an earnings winner. It has been influenced by an earnings report. So that's for the long lower shadow. So remember, we're using the free ones, right? That's what we're using. Okay, so in order to get more candlestick patterns, as you can see on the screen, check these out. Right, check these out. All right, but in this case, we used something called the long lower shadow. That's the one we used in this case, right? And it's right here, the long lower shadow right there. That's where it is. So that's the one that we used in this case. And it's between 40 and 60, as you can see here. And change from open is positive on the green day. So yesterday we failed to find a long lower shadow, or an S at a long lower shadow. We failed to find an S&P 500 stock. Failed. So today we don't have anything on the hammer. Let's check the invented hammer. Mm. So the S&P 500 stocks are good for futures trading. It's 10x leverage. 80% equity, 10x leverage. So right now in the S&P 500 we only have one. Let's try the Russell 2000. I think it's earnings season. The S&P 500. So mm. so right now we're checking the Russell 2000. So we have the long lower shadow. So the Russell 2000 is good for these priced stocks between 10 and 20, below $20 usually. So we have three in the Russell 2000. So yesterday we didn't find anything in the S&P 500. Today we found one NOC. So in the Russell 2000 we have found three stocks: Eton, MMS, and SVV. Using the long lower shadow chart pattern, and as you can see the RSI between 40 and 60. So let's check it out. Let's start with SSV. And that's the thing about the system. Once you have a system, you realize that these chat patterns happen every single day, guys. Like even tomorrow on the stream, there will be another play. Even tomorrow there will be another play. Even tomorrow there will be another play. So there are more than enough plays. Oh wow, look at the time. I'm so late. Alright, so I'm going to close out the stream. Hopefully it will just close on its own. And I'm going to close out the stream with this egg example here. So I'd love to thank you so much for watching this video. Trade safely there. Hopefully the stream will close automatic when I stop talking. Thank you so much for joining me for this stream. Trade safe out there. Read the disclaimer. Take care. Bye bye and bye bye. Sorry, I thought the stream was going to cut. It doesn't cut. We're still live. All right, so I'm just going to take a bath right now, guys. But basically, what you're seeing here is this. All right. So it's the same thing. All right. So in this case, we're not using the bullish counter attack pattern. We're using something called the long lower shadow. So it's right here. See, you can see right there. It's on the 50-day moving average between the 20-day moving average and 50-day moving average. And I think uh, it's got something called the double top here. I don't know what that means. So, and there'll be an earnings report soon. So this is the Savers Valley Village Inc. So let's check another example before I go to take a bath. We're still live. All right, we're still live. I'm not cutting until the stream cuts. I'm not cutting until the stream cuts automatically. All right, we going in. We going in. Today we're going in. So the next one we're going to check out is this one here. Okay. We're going in, guys. We're going in. This one's called MMS. Now, I want you to remember that on the paid version, you will get more candlestick patterns. You will get more candlestick patterns on the paid version, right? Right now, we're focusing on the long lower shadow, so that's the one you don't want, right? You don't want the long lower shadow. Okay, so focus mainly on the paid version. So this is the free version, the long lower shadow. That's the one that I'm using right now. I'm using the long lower shadow right now. Let's see what you have here. Wow, the stream is perfect. The streaming is perfect. Love it, love it, love it. I want to hit at least 1 hour 30 minutes today before I call it a day. So let's look at what we have here. So we have MMS right here. As you can see, so this is the long lower shadow, and in this case the price has touched the body. You know, in that other case that touched the wick, in this one it has touched the body, which is very cool. And this reminds me of the rising three soldiers, right? Have you noticed this is like a rising three soldiers? But the long lower shadow, and what I love about the long lower shadow is it has got this aspect to it. All right, the long lower shadow has this aspect whereby it can almost appear in every candlestick pattern as long as the shadow is long enough. So from this candlestick pattern you can kind of see the rising three soldiers. You can also see like a spinning top black. You can also see an ascending like advanced block. I think this is called the advanced block chart pattern. I may be right, I may be wrong, but it looks like an advanced block chart pattern, you know, and it's right in between there. And I think this one is one of the most powerful chat patterns. So I'm just going to leave the stream here. If it cuts, then it has cut. So I'm going to take a bath, but I'm going to leave it here so that you understand what to trade in the markets. So I'm going to take a bath. If it cuts, don't worry, that's fine. But you can still stay online. If you feel like you need to learn more, stay online on the stream, and I'll be back. I'm just going to take a shower. So stay online and study these streams. You can even reverse the video backwards to check out what you missed. So I'm going to bath. I'll leave the stream online so that you look at the chart pattern yourself. Can I zoom it? I think I can. See if we can zoom it. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think we can zoom it. Yes, sir. We can. All right, let me go take a bath.
Whoa, yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. The stream is still going on. That's what's up. All right, so I just want to remind you of the strategy. I'm just from taking a bath right now. I enjoyed my bath. My bath was awesome. So this is the strategy. All right, so I'll be back. I just want you to study this strategy. Yeah, I'll be back. Just study the strategy. Remember, this is the strategy that we are using. Wow, we're still online. Wow, this is awesome. Thank you for staying long on the stream. Shout out to YouTube for keeping me online this long. Yeah, so I mean, look, I was just thinking about it just now, and it just hit me almost like a message from God. In life, there are good customers and there are bad customers. And the truth is, if you want good customers, you have to make them register. Or if you want more good customers in your business, you have to make them register. That's just how it is. If you don't make your customers register, then you have terrible bad customers. So making customers register is very important. That's why even on this test stream, I should make you register. You know what I mean? But as of now, I haven't yet implemented that strategy of making customers register. Ideally, you want to make customers, register, and that's the key to good business. So now I'm going to show you. We're going to look at what are we going to look at? We're going to look at another one to trade, because remember we saw MMS. All right. Now we're going to look at another one to trade. All right, we're going to look at another one to trade. What do we have here? Let me see. All right, so we're going to look at another. Let's see if we can look at another pattern and another stock. So we looked at SVV. We looked at MMS. And now we're going to look at another one more. We're going to look at Eton. Because we looked at MMS, and now we're going to look at Eton. Again, if you want to see the demonstration of how I found these stocks, just rewind this video. Can't believe I'm using the word rewind, guys. This is crazy. And it's a pharmaceutical company. This MMS is what? MMS is a specialty business services. SVV is specialty retail. These are consumer businesses. So let's look at Eton now. And you will notice that these patterns do look similar. Like if you look at Eton, it's like it's got two lower lows. And then on the second, yes. So learn more about Finviz Elite. So that's the advertisement of Finviz. So remember to click the link in the description. All right, get yourself an elite account. The reason why you have to get this elite account is so that you can have the ability to do the strategy. So strategy is very easy, as you can see here. You have all these candlestick patterns if you get the Finviz account. All right, you have all these patterns to use. You'll be able to use the counter bullish attack. You'll be able to do the counter attack bearish. You'll be able to use the bullish harami, the bearish harami, the engulfing bearish. You'll be able to use the engulfing bullish, the falling three soldiers, the rising three soldiers. And I think that was the pattern that we looked at earlier on. It was called the rising. It was called the rising three soldiers.
Now on the free version right now, we're using the Marabozo white, we're using the hammer, we're using the long lower shadow, and then we're using the inverted hammer. So basically, these are the free ones that we're using. These are the free patterns that we are focusing on. So this is the criteria of how to find this pattern here, right? So remember, you when it comes to this, you do not want this situation like this. Okay, this is not what you want, right? You do not want to trade this situation here, right? Because this candlestick pattern is floating. You know, what you want to do is trade this one. Now, in order to find this one where the body or wick touches the moving average, this is the criteria I have written down here for you in this presentation. So basically, the price has crossed above the 50-day moving average. So the price should cross above that 50-day moving average. So remember, just like what I said, where it has to touch, right? So in Finviz, this is how you trade it on Finviz. Okay, how to trade it on Finviz. The price should cross above the 50-day moving average. Number two, 200-day should be below the 50-day moving average. Then the candlestick pattern, right? You can choose the hammer, the long lower shadow. On the candlestick pattern, these are the ones that you choose here, right? These are the ones that you choose here on the candlestick pattern. You can choose the counter attack bullish, counter attack bearish, Harami bullish, Harami bearish, engulfing bearish, engulfing bullish, falling three soldiers, bullish or rising three soldiers. So you can plug them in here, right? This is where you can plug them in. Then change the index to S&P 500. Yeah, that's what you change. You change the index to S&P 500. Yeah, yeah. Change the index to S&P. Change the index to S&P 500. Then you have the RSI. Now remember, the range should be between 40 and 60, and this is what you will see in the range here between 40 and 60, right? Right. So this is what you will see here. This is an actual, uh, you know. Let's see if we can zoom in, because these patterns are right. There you go. See, so the body is, and the funny thing about this pattern is, it does kind of look like a rising three soldiers when you think about it. It does look like the rising three soldiers, right? So this is the 200-day moving average. This is the 50-day moving average. This is the 20-day moving average. So you can kind of see like an advanced block, right? But it is a long lower shadow. They kind of look like fear, and these are spinning black tops, you know, and it looks like there was fear in every advance. So think about it. And then look at this pattern here. This is a new high. This is a new low and a new low. So there are two new lows here, and then it advances to the top. So looking at these chart patterns, we want the best. So the best setup is this one. This one is the best out of the ones that we have. And what excited me about today's stream was the fact. What excited me about today's stream was uh, the fact that so look at the range. This is the range here. Remember, between 40 and 60, and that's what I wanted to show you. So you can kind of look at the chart patterns and tell which one is the best. For this one, just from looking at it, I can tell you this is a class. This is a class C. This is a class B. Then this is a class A. So the best one to trade is this one here, eat on. Then I want you to see the range here between 40 and 60. This is what I really wanted to emphasize here on the RSI. So you can see it's between 40 and 60. Price is below 20-day moving average. Watch for a green volume bar below the candlestick, and this is exactly what you are seeing. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? This is exactly what you are seeing. This is exactly what you are seeing here. Okay, this is exactly what you are seeing there. You can see the range. You can see the range in the RSI. It's between 40 and 60. So you can actually see that range there, and it's very good that you are seeing it. So this is the long lower shadow. We also have the Marubozu white. Now remember the custom. There are a lot of candlestick patterns. So in order to improve your candlestick patterns, you need more. So when we come here, oh yeah, and the change is, this is what helps with the volume increase, the change up. Right, change from open, make sure up. So we can change, this is from the Russell 2000. So let's change now to the Dow Jones, see if we have any stock in the Dow Jones. And usually if we have something in the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, that's when it is more of a favorable news. So far, according to my market analysis, what I have noticed is that so far, according to my market analysis, what I have noticed is that we are in a season whereby we're in this trading season, where at the end of the day, we're in a trading season where when an earnings report season. So mainly we're focused on earnings reports. That's the season that we are in. We're focused on earnings report season. So right now I'm checking the Dow Jones market. So I just want you to see that it's not all the time or every day that you will find plays, like you will find charts to trade. So right now I'm trading the Dow Jones market, and I'm checking, like, there is nothing on the long lower shadow. There's absolutely nothing on the long lower shadow. So we can change, maybe we try the hammer, see if there is any trade on the hammer. Okay, so there are no stocks to trade on the hammer. Then finally we check the invented hammer. I don't check the Marubozu white. I don't believe in that pattern. I do not have a reason why I don't check the Marubozu white, but I personally don't believe in the Marubozu white. I don't know, I'm probably wrong, but I feel it's like I feel it's a pattern that is not common. I feel like it's a pattern that is not common. So but we on it right now. Again, I don't check. I don't trade the Marubozu white. Right? But let's see if we can find a pattern with the Marubozu white. I personally believe the Marubozu white is very uncommon. So we can check the pattern of the Marubozu white. While I'm searching for a stock to trade, you can still look at these chart patterns, because remember, I want you to master this. I want you to know that this is the strategy. It is that simple. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to trade. And of course, you also have to know what not to trade. This is important. You do not trade this one. All right. So I want you to remember these patterns very well, because you need to know what to trade. You also need to know what to not trade. Very important. Let me see what you have here. We're going all in this stream, guys. We're going all in. We're going all in on this stream. So let's check the Dow Jones. Let's check the S&P 500 for the Mara Buzu. Right. Let's see if we can find a chart pattern that includes the Mara Buzu white. So that's what we're checking for. In the background, I'm checking for you, but meanwhile, I just want you to master this pattern. Marbozu white is very, very, very rare. This is what I want to check for. So far, I'm not finding any pattern. But yeah, so basically, this is what it is. You do not want to trade this pattern because we call these random. We call them random patterns. That's what we call them. We call them random patterns, and that's not what you want to trade. You do not want to trade random patterns. But today, the one that we found is I believe personally, it's like one of my greatest achievements. Where is that? What am I looking for? Uh, the pattern that I found today, I believe, is one of the greatest achievements. It is not easy to find a chart pattern in the S&P 500. It is not easy, guys. It is really not easy, but I want to show you the one that I found today. As you can see, it's called the NOC, and the range is right there in 48, not too far away from the new high, below the new high, 2 to 1% below the 20-day moving average. Because remember, if we are looking at this criteria right here, you want to make sure you follow this criteria. This is a very, very important criteria to follow. Remember the RSI range, right? The price has to be below 20-day moving average, and then you watch out for that green bar, and this stopping and starting, say stopping and starting. The stream will end shortly unless